When the Department of Justice has a list of places they want to go to, the Senator Markey's question.
Oh, I heard Senator Markey's questions. I heard his whole speech. I thought it was insane. I just want to say for the record, I thought it was totally insane. And I think your positions are similarly insane. I think the idea that we would bend over backwards to hug and kiss and make nice to a pro-Hamas rioter, because that's what Khalil is, and that we would say, heavens, we can't remove him, and that makes Jewish students less safe on our campuses? That's nuts.
Hello, Patriots. Welcome back to Signal76, the channel where we stand tall for the red, white, and blue. Today, we're exposing the insidious threats to America's core freedoms, the very soul of our nation, and arming you with the truth on how to fight back against the radical left's agenda. We're diving deep into a stunning confrontation that just happened, where one of our own, a true American champion, stood like a bulwark against the forces trying to undermine our safety and our values. Before we get into the raw, unfiltered truth, make sure you're subscribed to Signal76. Hit that like button like it owes you money, and ring that notification bell so you never miss our critical updates. And trust me, you're going to want to watch this one until the very end, because the insights we're dropping today are absolute dynamite for every patriot who's ready to take a stand. Drop a comment below right now. What's the biggest threat you see to America today? Let's get the conversation fired up.
Senator Hawley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for calling this important hearing. Thanks to our witnesses for being here. Mr. Stern, if I could just start with you. I see that 5 or 6 days ago, you gave an interview in which you said that the removal of Mahmoud Khalil, the pro-Hamas foreign rioter, is a form of McCarthyism and makes Jewish students less safe. Now, this is an individual who has been accused of endorsing and espousing terrorist activity, who's been accused of lying on his application to a green card in the United States, who's currently being sued for terrorizing and assaulting Jewish students. Do you stand by your view that trying to remove him is a form of McCarthyism?
Absolutely, Senator.
Why in the world would that be the case?
Let me answer. He hasn't been charged with the crime. The clear predicate for this, White House said, was handing out pro-Hamas propaganda. When you start talking about people's views and what they're talking about in the public square as a basis for discrimination, and then the effect on Jewish students, it's not just the fact that Jews may be seen as, well, we're pushing this and that's going to happen. The way that this is going to harm Jewish students is it harms the academy.
Wait a minute. My time is limited. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just wait a minute. I've got to correct numerous inaccuracies there. Number one, as you very well know, United States law says that a non-citizen is inadmissible for entry into this country if they, and I quote, endorse or espouse terrorist activity or persuade others to do the same. That same law provides you can be removed for the same reasons. That is what Mr. Khalil has been accused of. He has further been accused of by the United States government lying on his visa application. That on its own would be sufficient to remove him from this country. He is being sued, as you and I sit here in New York court, by the victims of October 7th for terrorizing and assaulting Jewish students, unlawfully taking over and damaging public university property, and physically assaulting Columbia University employees. And you're telling me that it's McCarthyism to remove this individual?
Senator, the deportation was started before that lawsuit, before that second question about what he was saying on his forms.
No, this is what the government has alleged in open court, Mr. Stern. This is the basis for their removal proceedings. And our law makes clear if you endorse or espouse terrorist activity, you can be removed from this country. He has done so. He's been accused of doing so from the beginning. He's been accused of lying to get into the country. I'm amazed that you're saying that this is McCarthyism.
Senator, you weren't here when I quoted part of what Justice Brandeis was talking about the back at a case where there's somebody that was convicted for supporting the Communist Party because they were talking about violence as a political solution. And Brandeis cautioned us that this type of robust speech, as long as—
This isn't speech. Lying on a visa application is not speech. Seeking to assault Columbia University employees and Jewish students is not speech. You are defending an individual who has espoused the destruction of this country, the destruction of the state of Israel, the destruction of Jews, and has taken actions in furtherance of the same. You've also said that investigating the 60 colleges and universities that are currently under investigation by the Trump administration for anti-Semitism is a form of weaponizing anti-Semitism for political benefit. You're opposed to investigating these institutions for anti-Semitism?
Senator, I've been very clear that OCR has a very important role, that there are complaints that should go through the process. When you start using the Department of Justice and threatening universities' funding.
You are opposed, I just want to get this on the record, you are opposed to investigating Columbia University and others for anti-Semitism?
No.
That's what you said 6 days ago.
I am not opposed to doing it the right way. What
does that mean, doing it the right way?
Not to claw back funds, not to say we're holding you ransom. We're getting your faculty, Jewish...
You were asked about an investigation for failing to protect Jewish students, and you said that's just weaponizing anti-Semitism. It makes students less safe.
It is when the
I think that's
Department of
crazy.
Justice has a list of places they want to go to. The Senator Markey's question.
Oh, I heard Senator Markey's questions. I heard his whole speech. I thought it was insane. I just want to say for the record, I thought it was totally insane. And I think your positions are similarly insane. I think the idea that we would bend over backwards to hug and kiss and make nice to a pro-Hamas rioter, because that's what Khalil is, and that we would say, we can't remove him, and that makes Jewish students less safe on our campuses? That's nuts.
Senator,
that's nuts.
To Rabbi Saberstein's point, if you look at American history, the times where Jews were most vulnerable was during the Palmer raids in World War I, when there was political...
Jews are vulnerable now on our campuses because of people like Khalil, and I want to say for the record, I'm glad he's gone, and I hope he never comes back.
Senator Hickenlooper.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you all for your time here and all your work.
We got to talk about what's happening on our college campuses. Patriots. They've become breeding grounds for anti-American sentiment, and it's time we called it out. We just saw a Patriot senator, a real fighter, take on one of these apologists for chaos, someone who actually tried to defend a foreign national, Mahmoud Khalil, who was accused of endorsing terrorist activity. Can you believe that? This individual was also accused of lying on his visa application and terrorizing Jewish students on American soil. And yet, some on the left have the audacity to call his removal McCarthyism. No, Patriots, it's called upholding American law. It's called protecting our citizens. Our brave senator laid it out plain and simple. Under U.S. law, if you're not a citizen and you endorse or espouse terrorist activity, you're out. It's not complicated. This isn't about stifling free speech. It's about national security and ensuring that our campuses are safe havens for learning, not platforms for promoting hate and violence against Jewish students or any American. When someone is actively being sued for terrorizing and assaulting students and is accused of visa fraud on top of endorsing terrorism, that's not a victim. That's a threat we have a duty to neutralize. The left wants to tie our hands, crying discrimination, when we dare to enforce our own laws. They talk about investigations done the right way, as long as it doesn't actually hold anyone accountable or, heaven forbid, affect the flow of taxpayer money to these radicalized institutions. But we see through the smokescreen. When they oppose investigations into anti-Semitism, when they try to protect individuals who celebrate our enemies, they're showing their true colors. This is a battle for the heart and soul of America. Are we a nation of laws or a doormat for those who wish to destroy us from within? Are we going to protect our students and our traditional principles, or let them be overrun by radical ideologies that coddle terrorists and their sympathizers? The senator in question called these weak-kneed arguments insane, and he's absolutely right. He stood firm, defended the removal of this threat, and made it clear that people like Khalil make our communities, especially our Jewish students, vulnerable. We need more leaders with that kind of courage, patriots, leaders who aren't afraid to speak truth to power, especially when that power is a misguided, radicalized academic elite. It's time to mobilize. It's time to demand that our laws are enforced, that our borders mean something, and that our universities stop being indoctrination centers for anti-American hate. We need to support leaders who stand strong for American values, who aren't afraid to call out evil for what it is, and who prioritize the safety and security of the American people above all else. This fight isn't just in Washington. It's in our communities, it's in our schools, and it starts with us, the patriots of Signal 76, being informed, engaged, and ready to act. Let's keep exposing the truth. Let's keep fighting the good fight. And let's make sure America remains the land of the free, because it is the home of the brave.